the big one is friend of the show, Pietro Fittipaldi, is going to be full-time with RLL next year, which is super cool. He was awesome to have on. If you haven't checked out that episode, I think that was off season last year, maybe. I think it
Yeah,
was like towards the end of last year. I think we talked to him, and he was, I think, just doing sports car stuff at the time, if I remember right.
yes,
His
and
brother,
Haas F1 reserve stuff.
yeah, Haas
Yes.
F1 reserve. His brother as an F2, I think, this year. So that was an awesome conversation. But yeah, what do you think of that? That was like a big question mark on who's going to go into one of their spots.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the last major full-time seats that came off the board. Honestly, one that I was trying to fight for as well. I had no idea this was happening. My chances of getting that seat was, slim to none anyway, because I don't have a lot of great momentum. Even though I've done what I've done, when I could do it. But yeah, I think big surprise really for a lot of people. I'm usually someone who I hear the things, I hear the rumors, I get in the weeds a little bit, and I try to listen to what's going on. And from what it looked like on the Twitter sphere, it looked like not a lot of people saw this coming. Yuri Vips was there, but with Yuri's past and some things, some decisions he's made, some things he got in trouble for saying, some bad things. I don't think that sits well with a lot of the Rahal sponsors, right? It's like there's no doubt about that. We get that. That's the world that that you just that makes sense. Like that's sadly what is going on. And Pietro, I know, has had some support, and from someone who was trying to get that seat, I knew that there was, there needed to be a little bit of a financial element there, maybe to come into play. But realistically, Rahal has built such a strong 3-car team that they were still able to kind of pick their guy. And I mean, Pietro, he has wanted another chance at IndyCar. I think he even talked about it on our show. And he has not really ever gone away. I think he's got good, smart people around him too, who have been probably trying to just poke their heads around a little bit, the IndyCar paddock. And when I think about it, if he has some sponsorship support, maybe not all of it, and you need a proper chance to get in and show what you can do, I mean, this is it. So I'm very happy for him. I actually said to myself, I was pretty much, I knew I wasn't going to get that seat. But I was hoping that it would go to someone that I could be excited about. You know what I mean? And Pietro, I think, is a guy that we can all be excited about. He's got a ton of momentum. The guy comes from the F1 world, which again, he's been a reserve driver, but he's also raced in Formula One. And he's got a great fan following, got great support. Him and his brother do incredible work on, with live streams, Kick streaming. They
Good
stream
content.
on Kick. They put out a lot of great stuff. So I think he's very smart. I think IndyCar fans will really like him. We have a Fittipaldi in IndyCar. That's great. I think it's very cool. So again, I'm thrilled for him. I think he's a good dude, obviously friend of the show. That's just one more seat off the board. One more seat off the board. The path to the IndyCar, season of 2024 is definitely becoming clearer. There's still a few more seats, obviously. Still some other interesting rumors that I heard this week that I was disappointed to hear, but I'm very curious to see if it actually is real. And we'll have to see how it plays out. But there's definitely some wild stuff going on in the IndyCar underworld scene right now. And it's a brutal world out there right now. But I guess that's just kind of where we're at right now.
So with them, I believe they also announced this at the same time that they're going to still keep Yuri Vips under contract, if I remember right. So
yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah.
Because of that, do you think they're going to try to sell sponsors for him? Or do you think that's just like, oh, let's try to just get an Indy 500 rider to just do a couple of races?
I actually don't know. I think obviously they're going to have a 4th car at the 500. And I've talked to Bobby about, running the 4th car with them. I think they obviously know what I did at St. Louis, finishing ahead of their guys and kind of the oval experience that I have. So I think they have a lot of interest in running me for the 4th car at Indy. And obviously running a 4th car just for a rookie, that would be tough. Like that would be a tough one. But the way I think I look at it for those guys is if they can get an engine, that's the issue, right? Is the field is so big now for teams to expand, there has to be enough engines. So, running a fourth car, I could see them doing that for a couple road course races, right? Rahals, they do such a great job with their sponsorship, their partnerships, their funding, and realistically, they have people who are very upstanding businessmen. You got Mike Lanigan, my Jack. I mean, that guy could fund a fourth car if he wanted, right? Hey, we're going to give our guy who we believe in, because they obviously believe in Yuri, and I think Yuri did a great job when he got in the car, and the guy was fast. If they want to give him a shot, I'm sure they can do it, but they want to make sure that everyone's still making money, everyone's still in a successful position here. So I am very curious. If we somehow, I've definitely talked to them about running their fourth car at the 500. If that's part of it and they get some more races going on and they start to connect some dots and they're like, hey, we need someone to do more oval racing. I mean, shoot, I would do that too. So there's all kinds of things that could happen, but keeping Yuri under contract, I mean, it definitely means that he's going to be doing something with them, right? So I respect them for doing that. I really do, because that, as a driver, if you think you got that seat going forward, that's tough to accept. It's hard, and I'm sure it's tough for Yuri as well, because he wants to get back in the scene. But good for Rahal for keeping him on, and you know what, I see them doing that for a reason, right? We already know they're probably going to run a fourth car at the 500, and so yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out.